As the APEC summit concludes, Hong Kong signs a free trade agreement with Peru, which could benefit over 150 services sectors in the SAR. The Kai Tak Sports Park has conducted another successful trial at the multi-purpose venue by hosting a rugby match, which was attended by roughly 2,500 spectators. And more than 20 Hong Kong students to be expelled from the Macau University of Science and Technology for providing fake DSE certificates during enrolment. Over 150 sectors in Hong Kong are set to benefit from the free trade agreement between the city and Peru, after both sides officially inked the deal on the sidelines of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Economic Leaders Meeting in Peru's capital city, Lima. In the witness of Chief Executive John Lee and Peruvian President Dina Boluarte, the FTA was signed and will take effect after both sides complete their internal procedures. The city chief hailed the pact as strategically valuable for both economies and a boost for new business opportunities.
The agreement will ensure the legal certainty of better market access, tariff savings, and trade facilitation, and national treatment for manufacturers, service providers, and investors entering and operating in Hong Kong and Peru.
The FTA was the first one signed by the current term administration and marks Hong Kong's 9th free trade agreement and the 21st economy with which the SAR has struck a pact, covering trade in goods, services, e-commerce, and investment. According to the government, more than 150 services sectors of the city, including professional, transport, financial, recreational, and cultural services, are set to benefit from the commitments made by Peru. Business visitors and investors will also experience facilitated short-term entry into Peru. Moreover, approximately 90% of tariff items will be exempt from duties. Lee revealed that discussions have already begun on a promotion and protection of investment agreement between the two economies. Meanwhile, the city leader also held bilateral meetings with Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, Vietnam President Long Quong, and Singapore's Prime Minister Lawrence Wong respectively, to seek their continued support for Hong Kong's accession to the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
With the free trade pact sealed after 2 years of negotiation, the business sectors in Peru and Hong Kong expressed hope in unlocking new business opportunities between the two economies. Peru was Hong Kong's 5th largest trading partner in Latin America. Bilateral trade volume amounted to a mere $5.2 billion last year. This international freight forwarder based in Peru, with an office set up in the city 4 years ago. Its general manager hopes to leverage Hong Kong's strong financial system to get fundings.
Financial companies in Hong Kong is pretty big, more than 100 banks, right? In Peru, we don't have more than 20. So that the market is really tough. They don't have a lot of bank investors or bank information for international products, actually. But I know that Hong Kong got that.
Edgar Vasquez, former Peruvian Foreign Trade and Tourism Chief, said Hong Kong is a free market with good taxation and finance infrastructure and is optimistic that Peruvian companies will be attracted to the city.
The most important piece of our free trade agreement is that the possibility that the Peruvian companies take some associations with Hong Kongese companies in order to make business together and use Hong Kong as a platform, again, in order to promote our exports, not just with China and of course with Hong Kong, also with all the Southeast Asia, because Hong Kong for us is an economy that already are playing that role.
Meanwhile, Hong Kong's representative to APEC Business Advisory Council, Marjorie Yang, who is also the chairperson of a local textile company, said Hong Kong companies used to neglect the Latin American markets in the past. But now they should not just stick to where they can easily do big business with. She urged local companies to seize every opportunity to learn new things and open new markets. Best Learn Cable News.
Representatives from 21 economies surrounding the Pacific Rim gathered in the Peruvian capital Lima for the annual Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit. Welcoming delegates on behalf of the Peruvian people, President Dina Boluarte said APEC's objective is to offer a level playing field to all its members and promote sustainable growth and resilient development. U.S. President Joe Biden, who has just a little over 2 months before he leaves office, attended the informal meeting where he was greeted by other world leaders. Talks at the summit largely focused on climate issues and the global economy. President Xi Jinping skipped the meeting but met with leaders of member nations on the sidelines of the summit. During discussions with newly elected Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba, Xi said China is willing to work together with Japan to adhere to the important consensus that China and Japan are cooperative partners and do not pose a threat to each other. Thai Prime Minister Paitongtarn Shinawatra was one of the other leaders who met with Xi. Urging closer ties, Xi said China wishes to expand trade and investment ties with Thailand and promote political coordination in regional affairs. Congratulating Lawrence Wong on his appointment as the 4th Prime Minister of Singapore, Xi said China and Singapore are friendly neighbors and important cooperative partners who will celebrate 35 years of robust diplomatic ties next year. Bringing the curtain down on the event in Peru, Fernando Zavala, chief executive of the summit, said it was truly inspiring to witness the dialogue among business and government leaders, all of whom are deeply committed to the prosperity of our communities. South Korea takes over as chair of the bloc and will host the summit next year. Sachin Katwi, Cable News.
The Kai Tak Sports Park passed its second trial, holding a rugby international invitational match in which the Hong Kong team won 38-17 against Brazil. Culture, Sports and Tourism Secretary Kevin Yarn said he was satisfied with today's trial besides the rain. With seamless entry, exit, ticket verification and security checks, the match operations were also very efficient, Yarn said. He added that building on the experience from the previous test event, numerous improvements have been made, including better signage, enhanced food and beverage services, and more efficient security check locations, making the entry process smoother for spectators. However, there were mixed opinions about the new venue for rugby because among the 2,500 spectators, many of them were regulars at the Hong Kong Stadium.
It's definitely more convenient than me, but I'm sure there's a lot of people on the island that would disagree with that coming here. I think the stadium's great itself. It's in a good location, and it's nice to see the actual new stadium of Hong Kong here.
I mean, I think it's a bit worse because there's more food and beverages stations at the old stadium. But I think the VIP experience here will probably be better.
This audience suggested that the government could have built some rain shelters from the station to the venue since it was rainy and many audience got wet. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News. Education Secretary Christine Choi said that the authority has strengthened the university admission screening process after finding out some 20 forged diploma of secondary education certificates were used to gain admission to a Macau university.
都有20位嘅呢個假嘅呢個文憑試嘅證書啦。
Taking to the airwaves, Choi said that the examination authority had previously received a query from the Macau University of Science and Technology upon suspected false DSC certificates. After verification, the authority confirmed the certificates were falsified and reported the matter to the police. She described the behavior as outrageous and emphasized that using forged documents is a serious crime and that there are no internal quotas in the university admissions process, urging students not to trust intermediaries. For anyone who has doubts about the DSE results, the HKEAA keeps the records of the results and can help verify, she added. Separately, the education chief said currently 3 universities had expressed intention to apply for establishing the city's 3rd medical school. She pointed out that a fair and transparent set of standards is necessary to inform everyone of the features and requirements needed for the new medical school in Hong Kong, and that the authorities will have a meeting by the end of the month to set criteria to ensure fair competition among the applicants.
An elderly woman died after being hit by a garbage truck and trapped beneath the vehicle in Siu Sai Wan. The fatal accident occurred at around 1:30 in the afternoon near a secondary school on Harmony Road. The victim was passing by when the garbage truck, which was going backward into the school, knocked her down and trapped her beneath, leaving her unconscious. Firefighters arrived at the scene after receiving a report and spent nearly an hour using tools to lift the vehicle, successfully rescuing the victim. However, upon examination, it was confirmed that the individual had died at the scene.
A deadly blaze in the neonatal ward of a hospital in the northern Indian state of Uttar Pradesh has killed 10 newborn babies. The fire in the city of Jhansi, roughly 450 kilometers south of the capital New Delhi, is being blamed on an electrical fault. Hospital staff broke into the ward and rescued 44 infants, but at least 16 are in critical condition. The accident has raised questions over safety measures at the hospital, where fire alarms had been installed but did not trigger when the blaze broke out. State officials have ordered a high-level inquiry of the incident.